Good afternoon, everyone. This is
Yesong,
Sean,
and Sangmin. We chose Vietnam as our One Nation video project. The reason why we chose Vietnam is to know more about other countries that we have not been. Each of us are from Japan, Australia, and Ethiopia. So we chose the random nation that we are not from. The second reason is because Vietnam is closely related with Handong. Many alumni are working in Vietnam with diverse occupations, and NIBC, the architecture company that plays an important role in housing environment in Vietnam. We found interest in these actions that our alumni are doing. So we decided to research more on nation, Vietnam. Now, let's talk more about Vietnam. Vietnam is a country located in Southeast Asia, which borders China, Laos, Cambodia, and Thailand. In the western side of the borders lies the mountains of the Annam Cordillera, while 1,600 kilometers of the coastline in the east. Most of the people in Vietnam are working in agriculture, forestry, and fishing. Vietnam's official country name is Socialist Republic of Vietnam. As a country name represents, their government system is based on socialism. The expected population of Vietnam 2021 is 98.7 million, and the growth rate is approximately 1% every year. Vietnam is officially declared as an atheist state, but most people follow three teachings, which are Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. The most popular sports in Vietnam is soccer, table tennis, volleyball, and martial arts. Especially Vietnamese people are in favor with Korean people because recently Hang Seo Park, a heroic head soccer coach who led Vietnamese national soccer team to win over lots of games. Vietnam used to be the first level income countries until the late 90s. But now Vietnam has passed the line of third level income countries with the life expectancy 74.7 years old in 2021.
my vision is to be a leader who leads a sustainable society. Let's first look at the current situation of sustainability in Vietnam. These are the graphs of coal and oil consumption in Vietnam. And as you can see, the amount of use has increased year by year. Particularly over 11 years, usage has increased by about 5.5 times. Carbon dioxide emissions are also growing steadily as oil and coal usage increases. When we looked up FDI, foreign direct investment data, it is analyzed that economic growth caused by the inflow of foreign investment promoted electricity consumption and solid and gas fuel use, increasing CO2 emissions. Next, let's look at how is the air quality in Vietnam. The part in Hanoi, one of the major cities of Vietnam, the city's air quality is bad enough to harm their health. Also, the air statistic from December 2021 to May 2022 clearly shows 4 more bad days than good air quality days. Then, how is Vietnam currently responding to those challenges? The Vietnamese government is trying to meet international demands for environmental protection, social contribution, and transparent governance by actively reflecting the UN's SDGs, and in 2021, the Sustainable Development Index ranked 51st. In particular, the Vietnamese government shows a solid will to protect the environment. The National Power Development Plan stipulates that it will reduce its dependence on coal power generation and increase the proportion of renewable energy generation. In the future, full government-level policy support is expected, such as grading incentives for eco-friendly projects and expanding scales for related projects.
My vision is to become a missionary who recovers people physically and spiritually. In relationship with my major, social welfare and counseling psychology, I would like to link the good intentions to good results. So I focus on two indicators, which are malnutrition and Human Development Index. First of all, malnutrition indicator has measured weight for age of the children aged under 5. The percentage of malnutrition in Vietnam 1994 was 40.6%. It has decreased constantly and rated 13.4% in 2017. We must pray that it decreases to 0% in accordance with pursuing SDG number 2, Zero Hunger. Human Development Index is a comprehensive measure of 3 dimensions of human development: a long and healthy life, being knowledgeable, and have a decent standard of living. Vietnam used to have 0.514 back in 1993, but now we have 0.704 in 2019, which also are increasing.
My vision is to help the developing countries by providing infrastructures and fundamental requisites for the citizens to live on their lives. I want to focus on access rate of water, road connections and urbanization, which is related with Sustainable Development Index number 6, clean water and sanitation, 9, infrastructures, and number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Urban and rural populations in Vietnam, shown in this graph, shows that the urbanization rate has slowly increased until the 1990s, and then past then it has significantly increased up to 35% in 2020. Around 40 million citizens are residing in the cities. From around 2040, urban population will surpass the rural population. Here are some key figures of urbanization in Vietnam. One thing cautious about it is that 75% of the urban population lives in low elevation coastal areas that is vulnerable to flood hazards and sea level rise due to global warming. Also, 27% of current urban population, which is around 8.5 million people, lives in low-quality housing such as slums. Next, the rates of population who has access to basic drinking water. From around 75% in 2000, it reaches up to 96% in 20 years. Last, here are the road paved rate, but unfortunately the data we have is only up to 2009. From only a quarter in 1990, it surpasses over 50%. By the extra 10 years, I guess that now it has improved a lot more. 2 things we can learn through the indicators are that, number 1, around 1990, there was a sudden increase in all the data, and it is because of the initiation of a Doi Moi, a national economic revolution plan in 1986. Number 2, Vietnam is a country that lives far better than our perceptions, but there are still needy areas in infrastructures such as roads. Housing policies to provide migrants to cities with a better environment to live. Increase of urban population is expected, so the government has to provide quality housings for the cities, while redesigning the slum areas to the sake of citizens should be considered first in order to create trust of how the government proceeds to develop the houses. Improving connections between regions and cities by creating highways and roads will be essential. If so, increased travels between regions will bring economical benefits.
In conclusion, sustainable development in Vietnam is becoming a must rather than a choice for countries and companies. The government should expand the proportion of new and renewable energy generation. The most important thing is the active participation of the government, companies, regions, and individuals. This is our reference. Thank you for listening. Yay!